Good morning to all traders. Very interesting news again yesterday. Mr. Trump first suggested that a trade deal with China is very close, and that followed actually a partial deal he's made with the Japanese Prime Minister. He's also actually published evidence, the transcript with his conversation with the Ukrainian president, showing that there is no direct evidence that he put pressure on him for to gain for the 2020 elections. So all the gains lost from the previous session on Tuesday were reversed. Everything was down against the dollar. It was actually just one pair that made a difference, and that is the dollar against the Turkish Lira, and that is why we're going to look at it. And this is because the oil fell. When oil falls, the Turkish Lira actually is being supported. At the same time, there was a report from IMF saying that Turkey is not going to go into recession most likely this year. There is positive market sentiment. Inflation has slowed. There is a lot of good opportunity for the government to carry out all the reforms that were necessary to improve the economy. And at the same time, onto a different pair, we're going to talk about euro-pound, because we're looking at the minus today. And that is because pound was the worst. And that was because Mr. Boris Johnson decided to tell the Parliament that he's going to go ahead. He wants to go ahead with exiting the European Union in October 21st, whatever it takes. Starting with euro-pound, and following Boris Johnson's announcement to carry on and leave the European Union. I see this now from a technical perspective. We've been moving with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We ended that move up here at around 0.9350, and from there we're looking at this becoming a zigzag. Now the extension of this first wave comes to around 0.8645. If we look at the extension of this first wave as well, okay, so the X from there to there, that coincidentally comes also at the 0.8649 also. So this is a very key strong level, which is also the top of, near the top of wave 1. Okay, so I am looking at this actually completing wave C, wave W, sorry, and also wave C of this zigzag, because this is a zigzag pattern, down at around 0.87, 86, 87. We could, not should, get a positive bias in the short term, and that would be clearly, one second, that would be clearly to start seeing prices moving a little bit higher, okay? But I expect that from here we should start breaking lower again, unless, of course, if we cross above the 0.89. In case that happens, then we should be looking at prices to maybe range, move higher, or whatever the case would be after we receive more information within this sort of trading zone. Now, looking at the Turkish Lira, we had a correction down here, A, B, and we're looking at C, right? Now, if that's the case, we could be seeing prices now going into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Which means that we have a W here, an X here, and a Y over here, and that means that once we start seeing prices surging up, they should stop around the 623, because wave 3 was right here. So we should be looking at wave 5 ending above 6 and around 6.2. Then we should be looking at wave W, wave Y to complete this complex move. Now, if of course that doesn't pan out well, it means that we've had this W, no, actually A, yeah, A, B, and C ended right here. And then we're looking 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we should have a small correction over here. And then we should really start looking for prices to move even higher. which means that we will break that previous high, and we should be looking prices to start moving towards, excuse me, towards the 7 level and above. Thank you for watching, and I want to wish you a nice trading day.